3, welcome to your maths video for Tuesday the 2nd of February. This is your video if you're somebody who's got the Year 2 booklet. So you're nice and prepared, make sure you've got your whiteboard and pen to do some working out, and make sure you've got your booklet and your pencil, and your turn to page 17. Before we start with our booklet then, we are going to do a warm-up of counting in threes. Now I know some of you are amazing at your 3 times table and some of us need a little bit more practice, so hopefully this will help. Right, so to begin we're going to count in threes together and then we're going to write our 3 times table on our whiteboards and play a little game. So get your hands rubbed together, make sure they're warmed up, make sure you're joining in with me. If you're somebody who's a bit unsure of their threes, just copy off me and join in where you can. I'm sure you'll do fine. Are you ready? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Should we do that one more time? Are you ready? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Right, let's write those down then. So I wrote them on my whiteboard already. What you can do is you can pause the video now to copy them down, or if you know them, just write them down. Pause whilst you're doing it so we don't skip ahead. Right, we're going to play a little game with these then. So you'll need somebody else to help you today. So it might be your brother or sister, it might be your mum or your dad or any other adults you've got in the house with you today. So what you're going to do is you're going to cover your eyes, close them, make sure there's no peeking, and whoever's helping you with your game is going to cover up one number at a time. You're then going to open your eyes and see if you can work out what number is covered. Shall we practice? Cover your eyes, close them, make sure you're not peeking. Okay, I've got one number covered. Can you work out what it is? Have a little look. Shout it out. Well done if you said 3, 6, 9. Okay, so that's the idea of the little warm-up game. So if you find it really easy and you're somebody who's brilliant at your threes, maybe the person helping you can cover up 2 or 3 numbers at a time. You could get some pieces of paper and cover them up with paper and see if you can spot which numbers are missing. Moving on to today's learning then. So our learning objective is, can I consolidate my understanding of solving multiplication and division questions mentally? Now this is our 3rd day of doing these question types, so that's why it says consolidate. That means we're going to have another practice and really make sure we understand how to solve our questions mentally, which means in our head. So each day in our videos I've been showing you what each question looks like in a drawing, and I've said it helps us to understand what it means if we can see it and if we can draw a little picture to match. So we're going to look here. Here we've got 5 lots of 3. So I've got an array to match that number sentence, and I can see 5 groups of 3, so 5 lots of 3. Now we've just practiced our 3 times tables, so we should all be pretty good at counting in them. But if we've got a times table that we're a little bit unsure of, what we can do is we can switch our number sentence around and work it out using the other number. So let me explain. Here I've got 5 lots of 3, but if I don't know my 3s very well, we can switch that number sentence around and do 3 lots of 5, because multiplication is commutative and that means you can switch it around. So let's work out the answer to 5 lots of 3. So I'm counting in threes 5 times. So count with me. Are we ready? We've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, so I know the answer is 15. If you're somebody though who isn't sure on their threes, what we can do is we can switch it around. I'm going to just show you how to do that. So look at all of my red counters, my red circles. I'm going to switch it around and turn it around. If the board wants to work, that is. Let's try, there we go. So I'm going to switch it around. Have any of my counters disappeared? Have I got any more? No, it's the same, isn't it? I've got the same amount. All I've done is I've turned it around, and now you can see that along each row, instead of having groups of 3, I've now got groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got 3 lots of 5. So I can switch my number sentence around. 3 lots of 5. And it should have the same answer, shouldn't it? Because we didn't get rid of any. We didn't have any more on. What we're going to do is going to count in 5s now 3 times. Count with me. 5, 10, 15. So it's the same answer. We've just switched it around because multiplication is commutative. Now, you can use that method to help you with your questions if you're unsure of any of your tables. This one then, we've got 10 lots of 5. Now this one, we wouldn't really have to switch around because I know you all know your 10 times table and you know your 5 times table. So this question then is 10 lots of 5. So I need to count in 5s 10 times. Count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Well done if you joined in. So the answer is 50. Now, let us just prove our method and prove that multiplication is commutative by switching it around and working it out. And we should have the same answer. So rather than having 10 lots of 5, I'm going to do a switch and I'm going to have 5 lots of 10. So, get your 5 fingers ready, and I'm now counting in 10s. Count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we proved that multiplication is commutative. You can switch it around. Okay, this time we've got 5 lots of 2. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to solve me the answer to 5 lots of 2, and I'd like you to write the number sentence switched around. Have a little go. So pause the video now, find me the answer and switch me the number sentence, and then we'll go through it together. So pause the video now. Right then, so you should have done that. So we've got 5 lots of 2. So we're counting in 2s 5 times. Count with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well done if you got that correct. 5 lots of 2 is 10. And you should also have written on your whiteboard, 2 lots of 5 is 10. And that's how we switch them around. Right, so what I'd like you to do is pause your video now and complete all of the multiplication questions in section A. We'll then look at the division questions afterwards. So pause now and then carry on. Right then, so we should have completed some of the first section. We're now going on to our division questions. So here we've got 45 divided by 5. So what we are doing is we are seeing how many 5s fit in to 45. So we're going to count in 5s until we get to 45, and we must stop there to see how many. Make sure you're counting with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So often when we have division questions and we have to count in our tables, because I've just said 45, some children are tempted to write 45 as the answer because that's the number we've landed on. But remember, it's how many times we've counted in 5. So as you're counting, make sure you're holding up your fingers, showing how many. So the answer is 9. Right, next one. Let's try another one. Make sure you're counting with me. 10 divided by 2. So we're going to count in 2s until we get to 10. Are you ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we've counted 5 times. So the answer is 5. And we've just worked out the multiplication number sentence for this, haven't we? We've just done 2 lots of 5 equals 10. So 10 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5. They all link together and match. Okay, this one then, I'd like you to work out on your whiteboard. Now, remember, if you're not too good at your 3s, they might already be written down on your whiteboard still, and you can work them out that way. Or you could draw me a picture. So you've got 9 divided by 3. So have a go on that on your whiteboard and pause the video now. Right, well done if you found the answer. So we're seeing how many 3s fit into 9. Count with me. 3, 6, 9. It's 3. Well done if you got that one right. Okay, so you're going to pause the video now and complete section A so that all of your 12 questions are all completed, and then we'll move on to the next sections. Okay, so this question we're going to look at is question 2B. Now you can work these out as we go along, so you can pause the video after I've spoken about each question so that you remember how to work it out. So it says write in the missing sign, and we've got the option of add or subtract, times or divide. So 17 something 12 equals 5. Now, sometimes when we've got these types of questions, we have to use trial and error to find which one fits. But let's look at the numbers. So our starting number in that number sentence is 17. Our answer is 5. So what's happened to our number? So we started with 17, we've ended up with 5. Tell your adult what's happened. It's gotten what? Well done if you said smaller. Okay, now I know when we're adding, the number gets bigger because we're putting numbers together and it gets bigger. So straight away, I know it won't be an add sign that's missing. When I'm doing times or lots of, I know the numbers get bigger. So again, I know it's not that one. So what I'd like you to do is use trial and error. Is it 17 divided by 12 is 5? Or is it 17 subtract 12 is 5? See if you can work out which one it is. I'm sure you can. Okay, the next question. It says find a half of 88. Now remember my tip, when something's written in words, so when we've got a number in words, put it in the number above, just so it helps you to see straight away what numbers you're working with. So, find a half of 88. Now we've been practicing these fraction questions, and one of my tips always is use drawing to help you. So today I've got my pizza and I'm splitting it in half. So I'm splitting it into 2 equal parts. Now it would take a long time for me to put 88 toppings on my pizza. I could, but by the time I've done it and counted up the answer, I'll have probably made a mistake and it'll mean I'll get my answer wrong. So what we're going to use for this one is we're going to use partitioning. So I've got to find a half of 88. Now I know 88 is made up of 80 and is made up of 8. So 80 and 8 equals 88. So I'm going to start by finding a half of 80. Now remember my top tip. It'll still take a long time to draw 80, wouldn't it? So cover up the 0 and that makes it 10 times smaller. So rather than having 80, I've now made it just 8 and the number is 10 times smaller. So I'm going to find a half of 8 and I'm going to draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so a half of 8 is 4. But I wanted to know what half of 80 was. So I've made it 10 times smaller and now need to put the 0 back on to make it 10 times bigger. Okay, so half of 80 is going to be 40. Now we've just worked out what half of 8 was. So what you need to do is put those two numbers together to find the answer. Question 1C is, if 5 cups hold 40 ml, how much does 1 cup hold? Okay, so it's saying 5, I'm going to put my number 5, 5 cups holds 40 ml. So I'm going to draw that. So here are my 5 cups. Right, so I've got 5 cups and I know in all 5 there is 40 ml. So I'm going to write that down, 40 ml. The question's asking, how much does 1 cup hold? So I've got 40 ml and I've shared it out into 5. So what I need to do is I need to figure out how much is in 1 cup by working out 40 shared or divided by 5. So how many 5s fit into 40? And that will find me the answer. So that's a number sentence you need to complete to find the answer to that question. Right, that is all the questions we're going to go through together. I can't wait to see how you get on, and I will see you tomorrow.